Happy holidays from YoYoFactory. We have a special treat for you today. We actually have an interview with one of our team players who has a brand new yo-yo about to release. We are going to chat to him about his history in yo-yo, his future in yo-yo, his designs through the time, and we'll introduce his brand new yo-yo to you. His name is Mr. Paul Kerbel. Hello, Paul.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm really well. How are you on this fine day?
All good. Getting colder for the holiday season.
So you're in Mexico City?
Yeah, Mexico City.
And does it get cold there?
Yeah, it does. We got like our lowest temperature is like 35 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's kind of cold.
Like
So
almost
like
free, almost
almost
freezing.
zero.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, like you're, it's at altitude. That's why it's cold. Like
Yeah.
yeah, okay, cool beans. So let's talk yo-yos. I haven't seen you since World Yo-Yo Contest. What's going on in the Mexico yo-yo scene right now?
So it's getting interesting. We see two groups growing and kind of competing against each other. And I think the best thing that can happen is to have multiple groups that have a healthy relationship and a healthy competition, because that makes both teams or groups grow and become better at any competition. So it's getting interesting, and it's been steady in terms of the amount of people, but there's always people coming and going. So
Yeah. So, and I mean,
it's
everybody still comes together for like big contests and meetups and stuff.
yeah, yeah, totally. Betty
Okay.
had a yo-yo contest, the Katrina yo-yo contest, and it was related to Dia de Muertos, or the Day of the Dead. And it was a fun one. It had some originality in terms of of your clothes and the costume you were using, plus the yo-yo competition. So it was nice. It was
Yeah.
a bit different.
The end of the year, there's a lot of cool contests like that. You know, it used to be like 44 Clash season, and I was just in Okinawa, and the Okinawa Cup was on there, and same thing. You got additional points if you wore like local vibed clothing, and you put the effort in.
Yeah, it's nice. It gets a little bit more interesting and different and unique, something
So,
that you'll remember.
so this year you competed at the World Yo-Yo Contest. Did you compete at any other contests?
No, not at the moment. I think I won't be competing in Mexico anytime soon.
Yeah.
I'm kind of becoming the judge for the yo-yo contests. So I judge both for the Betty yo-yo contest and Isaac's yo-yo contest too, the winter yo-yo contest. So I'm becoming that part of the yo-yo community and less of a competitor. But I do enjoy a lot competing, especially at Worlds. There's so much adrenaline. That's the highest level you can be while competing. So I still enjoy it, and I still enjoy getting beaten up by little kids that are better than me at yo-yoing. So
But you're,
it's
you're
fun.
you've had a couple of fairly decent worlds campaigns over the last couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, this year I placed 30th in the world if you add up
Yeah,
the semifinals
nice.
and the finals. So it's pretty decent. And I believe my highest 1A ranking has been the fourth place
Fourth place.
back in 2014.
Okay, so let's go back to Little Paul. How did Little Paul get into yo-yos?
So I was just 10 years old, and I had some friends at school that saw a yo-yo show, a yo-yo performance, and they really liked it. So they bought some yo-yos and they brought them to school. And I remember I played when I was way younger, like 4 or 5 years, but never got super serious. It was just like one more toy. But then when I saw my really close friends playing with that toy, I said like, okay, I think I can do some stuff and maybe mingle around some more with them and connect better. So I started just yo-yoing with them, and then I realized there were yo-yo classes every Saturday, yo-yo meetups and classes. So I started going, and from the first weekend that I went there, I knew I wanted to be there like every weekend, and I kept like going practicing a lot till I got to my first contest, and I didn't do that bad. I got second in the like junior category, and I don't know, maybe 2 years later, I was competing at national level and maybe even winning some nationals by then. So the yo-yo scene in Mexico was really young. There were not many competitors. So I think I'm one of the first ones that really stepped up the level in Mexico.
Do you know who those yo-yo professionals were who came to visit, like your friends saw?
Uh, I think it was Steve Brown back then. He was one of the first international players to come to Mexico City. So I think I was already in the yo-yo scene, but my friends were there too, and we saw Steve Brown and probably Hank Freeman. I'm not sure if that's the same year.
Yeah, cool. Um, Now I came second at my first contest too, so I was vibing with you right there. When I was little, my first contest, I got a second place trophy from that too. How long from then was it until you started winning the contest?
I would say probably around 3 years. Um, I started playing like national level at the, we call it advanced category, which is just not junior anymore. And I placed second a couple of times till I won. I think it was 2008, maybe 2007. And I was super lucky because back then the World Yo-Yo Contest was happening every year in Orlando, which happens to be really close to Mexico City. It's like a 4-hour flight, and it's not super expensive. So even when I was not very experienced, I got the opportunity to travel to Orlando to the first World Yo-Yo Contest, and that's where I met Ben McPhee. I
Hey,
still remember. I bought a G5 Plus, the heavy version,
ooh,
and I
plus
was
plus,
struggling. I was struggling with my English, and Ben was really nice trying to explain me what's heavy and what's light. I still remember. And then you threw in a couple of hopstacks for me.
nice.
Like, he's a cool guy. And a few months later, then you contact me, and I became part of the YoYoFactory junior team.
The junior team that year, the junior team was stacked. That was a
Yeah,
lot of talent. Who do you remember who was on that team?
I remember a couple. Yes, my good friend Patrick Borgerdine,
Yeah,
David Ong,
yeah,
Yuji.
yeah.
Uh, who else was in there?
There was somebody else. I can't even remember who it was, but like that's Yuji was a national champion. Pat Borgading was a national champion. You were a national champion. Like it was loaded that team.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good call. I
Yeah.
wonder if Yo-Yo Factory is planning to have a new junior Yo-Yo Factory team.
Well, I think that after this year in Prague, that's something we'll look at. But so from then, how long? So what year was that? What year did you come on the junior team?
2008, maybe, or
Okay, so
seven.
2007, 2008. What year was Horizon? What year did we get to then?
So I was 18 years old coming back from Israel, and that was 2014. So 7 years later,
7
we
years.
came up with the great yo-yo.
So it's funny because I mean 7 years is a long time.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
Most players don't even have 7 years playing.
yeah, and I mean a lot of like I think there's a good lesson in that for young players. Like you don't just come up and get your signature yo-yo and have that success. You got to grind it out. And I mean then we were there with Horizon. I've got a few treats here to show people. Um, and maybe you can talk us through some of these yo-yos because over here I have the prototypes and the early versions of Horizon. So, your friend drew this.
Yeah, my friend Angel. Angel, I still see him. He still throws a little bit, so it's
So
good.
this
He's like a genius guy. He does some crazy things with 3D modeling. He's a super good engineer. And the first one we had was actually the silver one. That's
This one.
yeah, that one. That was the first one, but it was too edgy on the sides, and it was painful to use it. Too
Yeah, but
much power and so edgy. And
yeah, I think
so the second version was also kind of aggressive, but it was super good.
so. There was a couple of things you did here. This ridge in the middle really stabilized the weight. I feel like it wasn't trying to be a center weighted yo-yo. It wasn't trying to be a fully rim weighted yo-yo. It just had some balance there to it. So notice that the signature bowl hasn't appeared yet. So then we go to the second version. Here's one with a bearing in it. So the second version was a much bigger yo-yo, wider. Do you remember this one?
Yeah, that's the second version. That's the version I used at Prague to place fourth in the world. I used the red. You don't have the red one there, but
No, I don't have. So hang on, you were on the prototype in Prague?
yeah, yeah. The
Wow.
Horizon wasn't released yet.
Oh my goodness. So hang on. So Shutter came out the like August before. Right. Okay. So Shutter had been out a while when this came out.
Yeah, about a year.
Yeah, okay. So
I got, yeah, I got my first shutter in EYYC 2014. A bit later than it released, but I just went there and the guys at the YoYoFactory shop just gave me one, so that was the first one I got.
okay. So this is the production one. And do you remember how we came up with the bowl?
I remember
I don't
we went.
remember. So the story this story's all you. So you tell the story about the bowl.
So I remember we went to a couple BACs in San Francisco. I think it was 2012. You showed me a prototype of Superstar, and that prototype never came into production. But it was the first time I saw this kind of bowl in the yo-yo, and at the time nobody really did finger spins, so we didn't discover the full potential of that shape until we tried putting it on the horizon. I really like the idea of having a bowl, but I wasn't sure why. I just knew it looked cool and it would help with the weight distribution. And there were some challenges by developing this kind of yo-yos, but finally, Yo-Yo Factory came up with a way to put that bowl into the horizon. And the first time I tried the prototype, I did a 1 minute finger spin and I was astonished. Like, this is the best yo-yo for finger spins that's ever going to be released. And now there's many finger spin yo-yos, but the horizon, uh, I think it started the trend, and it's now going to stay, I guess, for all the DNA TikTok videos.
So, I mean, for me, it was your tutorials and teaching people how to do finger spins that were probably the most important part to it because you were one of the first educators of how to do finger spins.
Yeah, I kind of learned while I was explaining to. It was an unexplored area of yo-yo tricks, so I'm happy I was part of it.
Okay. So then after this, there was a while, but we went towards Marco. Marco, because just like the junior teams, you had a protege that came on, and that was Polo.
Yeah, yeah. He wanted a wider yo-yo with which he wanted it to be bimetal. So Yo-Yo Factory came up with this
But but
piece
this
of.
but this was the prototype.
This was the prototype. That ridge in the middle is kind of aggressive and threw the weight off a little bit, but it's a different yo-yo, fun to play. Maybe not the best for competition, but
Yeah, not this one.
definitely.
It was a bit of a clunky looking creature. But the original Marco still did have a smaller step on the inside, which kind of paid homage back to the original Horizon. And then we tried Horizon 2, but got uh we never really got a version we were happy with.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit wider than the regular horizon, but it still has kind of the same shape. It didn't really felt that different, and we wanted to have something different, something more updated. The only big change was that cap in the middle,
Yeah,
which
which
is great for finger spins,
but
but the
it
new version that we're
this
about to announce is even better.
so this one the cap actually robbed some of the performance because I think it just centralized the weight in a way that we didn't really want to achieve. Um, so we and I mean this was a while ago. Do you remember how long ago it was that we did Horizon 2? It was years. Pre-COVID.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so like
Pro-
we're talking for at least 4 or 5 years ago. So
yeah,
we
I think I used one of those in Cleveland 2019.
yeah, okay. And that would have been around its time. This is actually a really nice example that says prototype. So I think this was like a one of the versions that was released of it. So that's a nice one in the collection. I also have the Julian version. Did you remember this one?
I didn't. I remember the other version, like
Yeah, so
with.
so this was a B grade, and we did a special artwork for Julian, and it's got a secret code around the outside you needed to decode.
Mm.
So then it's time to reveal the new version. So before we do that, I'll come back. Hey, we've got three cameras now. Let's get rid of some of these. We'll make it just you and me. Hey, there we are. So we've got a new version. You have it with you?
I have it with me.
Fantastic. So I'm going to talk a little bit here because for this new version, I think what held us back on a little bit of the design for the two was we started with the horizon, okay, and we wanted to make a wider horizon, and instead of making a wider yo-yo and making it a horizon, we tried to stretch it and morph it into a brand new creature. But with this new yo-yo, we there's been such a time period, and yo-yo play has changed so much in that time. We got to start with a brand new canvas, and it's still this also reflects, I think, the development in your play. Um, I know you have a new clip video coming out, Paul, with some big tricks.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
right.
So in that video, people will get a chance to see maybe if they're not even familiar with your tricks now, they will be familiar with it after that video, and they'll see that your big style of tricks benefits from a wider yo-yo in probably a way more than say even a like polished competitor like in that regard. And the finger spin aspect has always been something of Horizon. So in this new yo-yo, we touch on that, but I think we've found a new way to incorporate that without really detracting from the overall performance. So
That-
have have you've been playing with it a lot?
yeah, I think it's my weapon of choice now since I got it. So
Do
it's
you-
been like a month now.
yeah. So yeah, we've been working on this for a bit. You know back in the day how they used to design like the best yo-yo had to do all the tricks. It had to do loop the loop. It had to do split the atom. It had to do walk the dog. It had to do rock the baby. It had to come back. You had to be able to do reach for them. Like one, you had to just carry one yo-yo and it had to do all tricks. All right. And
Mhm.
yo-yo design from then has split off the specialty looping yo-yos. And now you've got like super wide yo-yos. You've got narrow yo-yos. You've got finger spin yo-yos. It's very hard to pick one yo-yo to walk out the door with in the morning. But
It is
since this yo-yo has come into my rotation, it has not been difficult for me to decide what to carry out the door in the morning. I need to carry a yo-yo out the door that I'm going to enjoy playing with. It has to hit the bottom of the string with power. It has to not be too painful. It has to be something I enjoy catching, something I enjoy touching, and um, love it or hate it, the finger spin is something that people want to see. And if they see you with the yo-yo and ask you to do the DNA, you need to be able to oblige. Correct?
totally.
So do you want to reveal the yo-yo? Do you want me to reveal the yo-yo? How are we going to do this, Paul?
Let's do it together.
Okay, well, okay. One, two, three. Welcome to the new horizon. Hey. Very nice. Good job. Mine's not spinning. So I'll put the camera on and we'll give people a look at the new design. So this is a prototype that I've got in my hand. The production colors will be actually by the time this video comes out, we'll follow it up with the full range of the production colors for it. But you'll see it's a bigger, wider yo-yo than the original Horizon, fairly significantly wider. Um, Diameter is not too different. It's still a big yo-yo, and I think that we needed to stay with a big yo-yo because Paul, you've never played with small yo-yos since the Skyline
Yeah, back then. But yeah,
back.
new yo-yos. I like bigger yo-yos. They have more power, more torque. They spin for longer times and allow me to do the type of tricks that I like doing.
So, describe how this finger spin cup feels to you.
I mean, it feels perfect. It kind of looks flat and hard to catch in the middle, but you can actually do some talon grinds too, right in the middle of the yo-yo. It's not as hard as it seems, and it also keeps the finger locked in the center, so you're never going to struggle with the. If you saw the tutorial videos, I was telling like you have to put your fingers loose and vibrates a little bit so you can absorb all the movement from the yo-yo. But with this one, it's the finger gets locked in the center of the yo-yo, so it's easier to manipulate and do other finger spin tricks, not just the regular finger spin DNA.
So I've got to admit, it's actually made me look like I can do half decent finger spin tricks that I've never been able to do before. So
Yeah,
if
I'm
you
trying some crazy new tricks that you'll see in the future video that I'm gonna release.
okay, so
You'll see.
I find that I can catch it out here and I can put it in, and because there's not much friction in here considering how locked in it is. I found that you can almost push it like a spin top to make it lean. Have you experimented with that?
I haven't. I
Yeah,
haven't. That's interesting.
so yeah, once you get on that point, like if you want to develop lean or straighten it, if you push towards it, just like a spin top, you can change the way that it's rotating.
I'll try it. I'll definitely try it.
There's nothing that I've really been able to do that with before this yo-yo. So yeah, very nice, very nice. Hey, have you tried DNA string?
No, I haven't. You need to send me some.
Okay, I'm gonna send you all the production colors, and when I do that, I'll include some DNA string along with it, so you can get a good feel for it. So
Yeah, nice. Can we include some of these strings in with the yo-yo?
maybe we do like a special new release, initial release pack, where people can pick up the Horizon and get some DNA strings included, so they can really master it out. But yeah, I think the thing I really want to stress that it's more than a finger spin yo-yo in terms of like size, um, and feel. It delivers a whole lot more than that. Um, so we're rocking about, well, it's a 50 millimeter wide yo-yo. So we've been making 50 millimeter wide yo-yos. Well, we've been making wider than that for a long time, but I really feel that we've always had a yo-yo in this space since Edge Ultimatum. And earlier this year, I think the yo-yo that was influential with us coming up with 50 millimeters on this was Gen Pop when you and Luis came to San Diego, and that was the new yo-yo, and we shot a lot of videos and photos with that.
Yeah.
So
Is it the same width as
exact same
50?
width. I was looking for that width and fullness in the hand, and when you actually compare this to a Gen Pop, Gen Pop was pretty close to where we started, and you'll see the curves are different, obviously, because we wanted to make it more Horizon, true
Looking, yeah,
Horizon. Um, but yeah, it's Gen Pop is in its DNA. Like that's where some of the heritage of it comes from, and
nice.
yeah. So release date January 1st.
Hey.
That's the plan. I really hope we don't have to come back and edit that video because something went wrong. But January 1st, if everything goes to plan, they will be available. And as Paul has recommended, they will come with a pack of DNA string on release. A lot of models lately we haven't put in a broader release. We've been releasing quite a few models through YoYoFactory.com exclusive. And this is not going to be one of them. So this will be going to Yo-Yo Expert. It'll be at Slusny. It'll be at Rewind. It'll be at what's your local yo-yo shop, Paul?
There's a couple, but I don't want to create any fights. So
Oh no, he's not going to shout out the
maybe
homies. There's some Mexican stores that'll be able to get it too. All of them will be able to get it. They'll have access to it. It'll be out there until we sell out. And yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but you've seen a few of the colors now. How do you think we did?
what was that? Sorry.
You've seen a few of the colors that the production colors. I've shown you photos of how they turned out. How
Uh-huh.
how, how are you feeling about them?
So there's the usual galaxy
Eh,
you can
don't,
see.
don't, don't give away the details. People have to go check it out for real. But how are you
There's
feeling?
there's one that I really liked. Something that I've never seen before in a yo-yo. So it's gonna be interesting. Really nice
Cool.
colors.
Yeah, I think I mean, that's the one I want because if I'm going all in on this yo-yo, that's the one.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
bet it looks sick when it's spinning. So
yeah, I bet too. There's also some colors you haven't seen yet, so I'll be really excited for you to see all the finished product. And
you have
yeah,
them now?
I don't have them all yet. They're on
Oh,
the way.
okay.
It's very interesting the process of getting yo-yos delivered. We have some yo-yos come by plane, some yo-yos come by ship. We recently
Mhm.
had a shipment of yo-yos coming by ship, and the boat crashed into a reef and is stuck on a rock.
Oh,
Another
that's
boat has come to the rescue with a crane, and they're transferring the containers off one ship onto the other ship before
wow.
delivery. So luckily, your yo-yos are not coming by that boat, and they will be here. And yeah, then I'll be able to reveal everything, and you'll finally get a set of all the colors, and everything will be good. Well, thank you very much for your time, Paul. I look forward to hanging out with you at upcoming yo-yo contests, and yeah, checking out your clip video. And this video will have links to that video when it drops, where to buy the yo-yos, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun talking to you. So thank you.
Thank you.